Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the inaugural meeting of Poverty Reduction Committee assures Nigerians of more result-yielding approaches. Federal Inland Revenue Services, FIRS, seals off the Niger Delta Development Commission offices in Port Harcourt. Plus, correspondent takes a look at the role of citizens in tackling insecurity in the country. Good afternoon. This is Panorama coming to you live from the NTA Enugu Network Center. I am Chinenye Nwoye. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the federal government's plans to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years will not be based on a business-as-usual approach, but a very simple common-sense strategy that will deliver the results. Vice President Osinbajo at the inaugural meeting of the National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy Steering Committee in Abuja says government would adopt a different and more effective approach in actualizing the objective of eradicating poverty in the country for the sake of delivering results. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Nigeria can surely lift 100 million out of poverty in 10 years. Fortunately, we have already started, but we need to unlock the challenges of slow implementation, inappropriate targeting, and absence of adequate resources.
President Muhammadu Buhari, at the inauguration of the steering committee in June, was optimistic that 100 million Nigerians could be lifted out of poverty within the next 10 years. And this is the task before the committee headed by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo.
Nigeria has never been short of great plans. The measure of our success, we know, will lie in our ability to diligently implement our ambitions and the strategy which has been laid out, and the impact that it will have on the lives of the people, the young job seekers for whom we must provide opportunity, the entrepreneurs who we must assist in growing their businesses on scale, the farmers whose livelihoods we must secure, and the children whose dreams we must make come true. This is a task that we will approach with the utmost rigor and dedication as we commence our work in earnest.
And the work starts at this first meeting where members looked into the terms of reference and the composition of the technical groups that will work in various areas.
The idea is to sit down first, to look at the terms of reference. That's what we discuss. Then to have the composition of the technical working group that is going to work in all the various areas, and then to review the membership of the technical working group. So those are just the issues that have been discussed for today, and then the next meetings will define when the technical working groups actually will commence work and the scope of their work.
When this next meeting?
We are hoping to meet immediately the week after Salah, so that the steering committee now will be able to clearly define the terms of and the scope of work that will be carried out by the technical working group.
Members include 6 governors representing the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, the Secretary to Government of the Federation, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, as well as Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Labor. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, offices in Port Harcourt have been sealed by the Federal Inland Revenue Services for 3 days now. The action may not be unconnected to issues relating to unremitted taxes. Robinson Derataide has the report.
The two Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) offices in Aba Road and Eastern Bypass in Port Harcourt were sealed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service in the early hours of Thursday, 8 July. While the action came as a shock to the staff, leaving them stranded for 2 days now, NDDC management is yet to issue a public statement on the development. Findings indicate that the action was carried out by the Federal Inland Revenue Service headquarters in Abuja. Some Port Harcourt residents called for amicable resolution between the two government agencies.
Everybody feels bad when you can't access your place of work due to one reason or the other. But definitely, if the parties involved could sit down and talk about the issues, I think they will resolve it.
Trying time to come and see the office where most of the activities of NDDC is being reached to the youth and the people of NDDC. To me, I believe it's not ideal for now. At least they should negotiate so that the two offices will be open.
The River State Secretariat of the NDDC along Olu-Obasanjo Road is, however, not affected by the development. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
Meanwhile, NDDC offices located in other Niger Delta states have remained open for businesses despite the sealing off of the headquarters by the Federal Inland Revenue Services for purported unpaid taxes. Gufan Shaji compiled reports sent in by correspondents from some of the states.
From Bayelsa, Aya Parisi reports it was business as usual at the NDDC office in Yenagua, where insider account denied knowledge of any sealing of NDDC offices by the Federal Inland Revenue Services. It was the same scenario at the Imo State office of the Commission, which was in full operation when NTA News visited along Port Harcourt Road, Owerri, as some of the staff was seen on their duty post. And from Uyo, Kelvin Samuel reports that official activities were also ongoing at the NDDC office, where staff and others having businesses there were going in and out of the state office. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
Decision of the federal government to add 5 million more pupils across the country to benefit from the National Homegrown School Feeding Program in addition to the current 9 million beneficiaries has been described as laudable. Bulak Afsa reports that the beneficiaries made the remark at the flagging off of the enumeration exercise in Bauchi.
250 core members in Bauchi are going to serve as enumerators for the 1-month exercise.
Absolutely, I'm fully prepared for this feeding program.
I am prepared. I'm ready. Immediately after the training, and I get to know more about it, then I'm always ready.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, who was represented by Director of Humanitarian in the ministry, Ali Grema, explained that the enumeration exercise is geared towards promoting transparency and accountability.
The purpose is for us to know the number of people that we have in all states, and it is also to improve the school enrollment, health of the children, and then to upscale the economic activity of the state.
Here in Bauchi, we have 444,000 people right now on our record that are benefiting from the program. The state has been enjoying the program.
The exercise will be carried out in collaboration with the National Youth Service Corps, National Orientation Agency, National Population Commission, and the State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB. In Bauchi, Bulak Afsa, NTA News.
The use of technology in agriculture is the sure way towards addressing food safety. This was the submission of experts at the validation meeting on National Guideline on Genetically Modified Food and Seed Safety. Haman Jabani reports.
The National Biosafety Guidelines on Genetically Modified Food and Feed draft of Nigeria is working towards providing general regulatory provision for all dealings with genetically modified food and feeds in Nigeria, as well as information on procedures for addressing safety and nutritionally aspect of food and feed consisting of or derived from GMOs. This validation meeting with all necessary stakeholders is to look at the draft critically and make necessary corrections and inputs for its final presentation.
We want to be sure that there's a confidence built in the consumption of GM foods, and also to ensure that GM foods are healthy like any other food. So the importance of this is to ensure that we have a standard, we have a guideline, a blueprint on how GMO food should be handled before they are presented for human consumption.
Experts say having a national biosafety guideline on genetically modified food and feed will address most of the challenges in the value chain and attainment of food safety, as well as the sustainable development goals.
We have so many insects that are coming in because of global warming, so we need to use the technology to our own advantage, but not to import food, to make us food sufficient.
Actually excited that we are at this stage of development in the application of biotechnology in food production.
Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
The federal government will take a break here. Panorama continues in a moment. Do stay.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Thank you so much for staying on. The federal government has vowed to eliminate all threats to national security as a robust and formidable action plan will soon be unleashed to defeat all forms of criminality in the country. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, stated this after an audience with Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale in Abuja. Mitaire Iben reports.
The Zamfara State Governor is the latest state chief executive to defect to the governing APC, and this visit to the SGF provides ample opportunity to deliberate on the spate of banditry as well as counter-terrorism operations in the state and other parts of the country. The SGF says government will spare no resources to guarantee peace and security not only in Zamfara State but across the country.
I can tell you that the federal government is putting up a comprehensive work plan to deal with all forms of insurgency across the nation. It's not only Zamfara that is experiencing that. Most states in the northern part of the country have one challenge or the other, but you can see that it's pacifying gradually, and I believe that with the collaborative efforts that we are putting in place would definitely ensure that Zamfara gets out of the wood and takes its appropriate place and on the path of development and sustainable growth in this country.
We need more truth and more support from the federal government, particularly on the issue of banditry, which we have discussed, and he's going to take our discussion to a higher level.
In a separate audience with Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, discussions centered on the need to promote national unity.
Is to join Mr. President and the Chief of Staff and the IGF to build a united Nigeria. This is very important.
It is high time to build bridges across the regions of the country.
The SGF assured Governor Umahi that the Buhari administration will work with Southeast leaders to increase infrastructural development in the region. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Issue of security has taken a center stage in Nigeria. The recent incidences of armed robbery and killings, especially that of the Managing Director, Scientific Equipment Development Institute, SEDI, Professor Samuel Ndubisi, is of great concern. While government at all levels, as well as security agents, are battling to stem the tide of insecurity, key players believe that citizens also have a role to play. Comfort Aim now reports.
Over the years, Enugu State has been adjudged one of the peaceful states in Nigeria due to its peaceful nature. But with the escalating insecurity in Nigeria in recent years, especially at the northern part of the country, which has also affected the southeast to an extent, robbery attacks and other criminal activities are gradually gaining ground.
Okay, I was with my younger brother yesterday when they called him to say that they robbed a shop close to his shop at Onoasata yesterday. They came with like healers, 3 healers, and those guys were on black. They use face masks to cover their face. You cannot really know who they were. There is a problem because for people like that to come and rob and then go without any interruption.
It's quite peaceful, but in recent happenings now, I'm beginning to develop fear. There was a robbery attack in our plaza where we have a casualty. A security man was injured on the attack. And since that Saturday, on Monday, somebody came to me and was telling me how his friend was shot at the Independence Layout. And so many people are complaining different things.
And the law enforcement agents are not unaware of this and has been on red alert to ensure safety of lives and property. A case in point is that of July 4, 2021, where the CEO, Otto Ease Ifani Okeke, was assassinated on his way home at Bricks Estate, Independence Layout, Enugu.
I'm really shocked that what happened to him and everything. I'm surprised because I know him as a calm person, you know. I normally stay in his office because that's where we normally paint some of our cars at the Otto Ease. So like I heard, what happened was when it was raining and it was in the night. You know.
We are not safe. Even me, I have to now close work on time.
Meanwhile, Enugu State Police Command is on a full-scale investigation and manhunt of the criminal element behind the assassination of the CEO, Otto Ease. The command has also called on members of the public to complement its effort with useful information to aid the job. In Enugu, Comfort Ayu, NTA News.
And that report forms our background for discussion on Panorama. And with me in the studio to expand the discourse is Dr. Gostime Okafor. He is a legal practitioner and the National Legal Advisor, Police Community Relations Committee, Fort Headquarters, Abuja. Sir, you're welcome to our studios.
Thank you very much.
Sir, despite the security challenges facing the country, the government has put in place measures aimed at bringing the situation under control. Are there other measures you think they can also adopt?
Yes. There are other measures the government has to adopt. Because if you go to the Blast Law Dictionary and see the definition of security, it is not only about guiding people, guiding the property, but making sound decisions, policies, and ideologies. That's what the Blast Law Dictionary says. So government has to always come out with sound decisions, sound policies, sound ideologies. They can guarantee security. Let me give you an example. In the university, if the school authorities want to increase school fees arbitrarily, after the increment, once they announce it to the students that due to problem, the school fees, which is so and so, is hit to increase to so and so, you will see students unrest. Why? Because of the little increase in school fees. So also any decision that is anti-people, anti-social, any decision whatsoever is a threat to security. So apart from guiding people, guiding government have to come with sound ideologies, sound policies. And I want to use this medium to recommend implementation of the report of the national conference. That very national conference, the whole Nigerians came together in a round table, discussed the way forward for Nigeria. To the greatest surprise of everybody, the report of that national conference was jettisoned. Okay. So if they can go back and bring that very report, study it, give it to the National Assembly for them to put it into our law or constitution, then I can tell you that there will be security in Nigeria. Okay, so security is said to be everybody's business. You know that the government and the security agents cannot do it alone. Do you think the citizens also have a role to play? Of course, the security is everybody's business because life has no replica or duplicate. Life is very paramount. An African adage says that a madman said that he will not tell the person that went behind him with a machete until when he does not see his head. So that's an insane person. And as such, every Nigerian must be security conscious. Every Nigerian has to contribute to sustenance of security. You will not wait until when you become a victim. When you become a victim before you contribute. If you see something, say something. If you see anywhere you can assist the government to check security, you can bring the idea. Okay, on the part of the citizens now, are there some household security tips that the citizens can adopt, maybe in their homes and their workplaces, in tackling insecurity? Yes, you can see when the man was talking about the demise of the SEDI director, one person said that now he closes for work early instead of before you stay. In Enugu here, nobody is safe. If you go to New Haven, they go house to house every day to rob. Because of that, people have to adopt security measures. One, before you leave your house, you must tell your family. If it's a man, you tell your wife where you are going. If it's a wife, you tell your husband where you are going. Children have to do the same. Then two, you be security conscious. You will not stay longer hours as before. Sometimes, if it's 5, 6 p.m., you go home and stay in your house. There are so many other security things you do. If you go for a gathering, people come, who is the owner of so and so car number this? You rush, okay, I'm the one. You don't know the people that are waiting for you. Okay. So there are measures we have to adopt. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Thank you. I've been speaking with Dr. Godtime Okafor. He is the National Legal Advisor, Police Community Relations Committee, Force Headquarters, Abuja. Now to COVID-19 update. The latest release from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, shows that there are 146 confirmed new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria. This number, recorded from 6 states and the FCT, brings the total number of confirmed cases to 168,256. And the breakdown of the figures, Lagos is leading the chart with 110 cases, followed by Enugu with 18 cases. Oyo has 7 cases, Rivers 5 cases, Gombe 3, FCT 2 cases, Kaduna 1 case. The total number of confirmed cases is 168,256, with 164,415 persons discharged and 2,122 deaths. And the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has commiserated with troops who were involved in a road traffic accident this Thursday, 8 July, at Garakuturu along Meduguri-Damaturu Road while responding to a distress call.
Sadly, one of the gun trucks conveying the troops skidded off the road and rammed into a road shoulder, causing the vehicle to somersault. 9 personnel who sustained varying degrees of injury in the accident have been evacuated and are currently receiving medical facility. No fatality was recorded in the incident. General Yahaya lauded the troops for their swift response and urged them to be more circumspect during emergency operational responses. I will now join our sports desk for the latest in the world of sports.
Nigeria's D Tigers will take on their counterparts from the United States of America Saturday in a tune-up match ahead of the Olympics in Las Vegas. In another development, in a bid to develop their intellectual capacity and harness the potential of students in Lagos State, in the game of chess, the State Sports Commission, in partnership with the Lagos State Chess Association, organized a 3-day chess clinic at the Teslim Balogun Stadium. 59 students from 13 schools across the 6 educational districts of the state took part in the workshop.
It's an introductory clinic to let people know and let children learn what the fundamentals are. The next level competitions, some are already playing with clocks. So there are different levels to this, but the whole idea is to get them thinking strategically.
These lessons are the drugs that they need to actually take to get better at playing chess. And we've seen reasonable improvement in the last 3 days.
In football, Nigeria Professional Football League table toppers Aqua United will on Sunday attempt to increase its points in one of the round 32 matches against Enyimba Football Club. Enugu Rangers will host Wiki Tourists. Katsina United will play away to MFM of Lagos, among other matches. Still talking football, Italy with 33-match unbeaten run will on Sunday face England in the final of this year's Euro 2020 Football Championship. Argentina will take on Brazil in the Copa America final, also scheduled for Sunday. In tennis, 2-time Wimbledon champion Novak Djokovic will face debutant finalist Italy's Matteo Berrettini in Sunday's final. With sports update, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
Panorama from the NTA Enugu Network Center. We thank you so much for being a part of it. And do not forget to be a star with the NTA as we wage the war against rape and rapists. I am Chinenye Nwoye, and have a lovely weekend.